There is one thing few people dare to admit. We aren't truly prepared for old age. Everyone thinks that when they reach age 60 or 70, they will have time to rest, to leisurely enjoy life. But the truth is, a great many people quietly face unexpected shifts in their health, their mindset, and even family relationships, without a single roadmap to guide the way. Have you ever noticed that some people, after age 70, are still agile, lucid, can care for themselves and live very contentedly, while some others quickly grow frail, become dependent, and are overcome by loneliness and a feeling of being lost? The difference does not lie in pure luck. It lies in habits, the small decisions that we make each and every day. I witnessed this very clearly when my neighbor, Mrs. Margaret, who is now 84 years old, still drives herself to the store, does yoga every morning, and occasionally still invites friends over for tea, while her cousin of the same age, Mr. Charles, has to use a wheelchair and is completely dependent on a caregiver. Two people, two lives. But where did the difference begin? It's in the things Margaret had been doing for 10 or 20 years before. The 7 secrets I'm about to share with you are not just theory. These are lessons that people who live long and live happily in America have accumulated, applied, and passed on. And if you are passing age 60 or are already in your 70s, then this is the golden time to start. Don't wait until you need a cane to learn how to keep your balance. Don't wait until you have chronic insomnia to search for peace. And also, don't let your children and grandchildren have to struggle to solve for a life that, in fact, you could completely master. I know you might be thinking, I've lived my whole life. I know what I need. But please, just take a few minutes to explore with me these 7 secrets to living healthy, living long, and living a valued life in old age. These things aren't just for you, but are also a gift you can leave for your children and grandchildren. Through the very way you live, please listen, reflect, and if something resonates with you, then please don't keep it to yourself. Please tell your children about it. Because if you don't say it, no one else will say it for you. Let's begin. Secret 1, maintain a habit of daily movement. My dear friend, if there is one single thing I hope you never lose as you enter old age, it is the habit of movement. You don't need to run, you don't need a gym, and you don't need fancy equipment. As long as you maintain the habit of moving every day, whether it's walking slowly around the garden, doing a few gentle stretching exercises, or simply standing up and sitting down correctly, then you are opening the door to sustainable health. Many people think that after 70 they should rest and shouldn't exert themselves doing anything anymore. But that very thought is what makes our bodies age faster. When you stop moving, your muscles gradually atrophy, your bones and joints become stiff and weak, your blood circulation slows down, and your heart and lungs also work less effectively. That is why many people, after just a few months of moving less, start to feel short of breath, have back pain, or tired knees, thinking it's due to age, but it's actually because the body is no longer being used properly. Mr. Ronald, 75 years old, once shared with me that, I used to think walking slowly was normal at this age, but after trying to spend 15 minutes each morning rotating in my shoulders, exercising my legs and breathing deeply, I not only walk more flexibly, but my spirits have also been noticeably lifted. His story is not a rare thing, but it is proof of the change that can happen if we start, even if just with a single step. Not moving doesn't just mean a weaker body. It also means the gradual erosion of your own ability to live independently. Each time you can't stand up, each time you stumble because you can't keep your balance, is another time you are forced to ask someone else for help. And at some point, you will no longer be the master of your own life. I don't want you to end up in that situation. I want you to be strong, confidently stepping through each day, whether you are 70, 80, or even older. Therefore, if you are watching this while sitting on a chair, try standing up, take a few steps around the house, feel your body still able to move. That's the greatest gift you can give yourself. Moving every day doesn't just keep you healthy, it's also how you hold on to your freedom, your dignity, and your zest for life. And remember, it is never too late to begin. Even if you can't do much today, tomorrow, you can still do more than you did today. as long as you don't stop. Secret 2. Healthy eating helps slow down aging. Do you believe that what you put into your body today will determine how you feel tomorrow, next week, and even for many years to come? I know, it sounds simple, but in reality, not everyone is patient enough to understand and apply this. Especially when we have passed the age of 60, many people often think, I've eaten this way my whole life, it's fine. But that is no longer true. Your body now is not the body of 30 or 40 years ago. It now needs more nurturing and finesse than ever before. After age 65, the digestive system becomes slower. The ability to absorb nutrients gradually decreases. That means if you continue to eat a lot of sugar, saturated fats, or use processed foods, you not only increase the risk of diabetes and heart disease, but also accelerate the aging process from within. Skin that wrinkles faster, hair that falls out easily, poor memory, a tired body, aching bones and joints. It all starts from your very own plate of food every day. I once met Mrs. Eleanor, 79 years old, living in a suburb in Washington state. She said that for nearly 15 years she ate a lot of pastries, bacon, and canned food because it was convenient and easy to cook. Until one day she had constant stomach pain, her skin became dull, and her memory began to falter. The doctor didn't prescribe medicine, but just told her to change her diet, add more green vegetables, use whole grains, eat more fish than red meat, and cut back on sugar. 6 months later, she was not only healthier, but had also regained the energy she thought she had lost forever. Eating is a familiar behavior to the point that we rarely stop to ask the question, does this food nourish my body, or is it wearing it down day by day? And I'm not advising you to force yourself to follow strict menus. I just want you to start paying attention. Replace a slice of fried meat with a bowl of vegetable soup. Replace a can of soda with a glass of warm water with lemon. Or just eat a little more slowly, chew a little more thoroughly so the body has time to digest and absorb. Taking care of your diet isn't a sacrifice. It's an act of love for yourself. Each meal is a chance you give yourself to live healthily, live deeply, and be truly present in every moment. And it's also a way for you to send a message to your children and grandchildren. Taking care of yourself is a worthy thing at any age. You don't have to change everything in one day, but if you can start with one choice today, choose something that nourishes your body, not just fills your stomach. Because every dish you choose is a whisper to yourself that says, I still want to live well, and I still cherish every day I have. Secret 3, quality sleep is the key to staying young. Have you noticed that when you were young, just a few hours of sleep was enough to continue a new day? But as time goes on, each sleepless night not only makes you tired, but also brings a long chain of sluggish days, difficulty concentrating, and even being easily irritable for no reason. Getting enough sleep is no longer a luxury. It's a condition for survival to maintain your health, your spirit, and even your youthful appearance. I once spoke with Mr. Richard, 72 years old in Florida. He said that for many years he would stay up until 2 or 3 in the morning and then doze off during the day. He thought at this age, sleeping little is no big deal, until his memory started having problems. Familiar names suddenly slipped from his mind. His hands and feet trembled slightly, and his mind was always in a foggy state. The doctor didn't prescribe sleeping pills. Instead, he was guided to reset his biological clock. Go to bed on time, turn off all electronic devices before sleeping, use warm lighting and drink herbal tea. After 3 weeks, he told me, I feel like I've been brought back to life. Sleep isn't just a time for rest. It's when the body recovers, the brain removes accumulated toxins, the cardiovascular system stabilizes its rhythm, and the immune system is strengthened. When you sleep deeply, the youth-preserving hormone, melatonin, is released regularly, helping to slow down the natural aging process. Conversely, if you constantly wake up in the middle of the night, tossing and turning restlessly, then even if you eat healthily or exercise diligently during the day, your body will still be easily tired, worn out, and gradually lose its vitality. You don't need to sleep a lot, but you need to sleep well. A quality sleep of 6 to 7 hours regularly every night is more precious than any supplement. If you often wake up in the middle of the night, pay attention to your bedroom space. Is it too bright, too hot, or is there noise from the street? Sometimes just lowering the room temperature a little, changing the bed sheets to soft cotton, or using a cozy body pillow can also help you sleep more peacefully. And if you have a habit of drinking coffee or eating dinner late, try to adjust it. Many people don't know that just one cup of coffee after 3 p.m. is enough to ruin a whole night's sleep. Your body, after age 65, is much more sensitive than before. And sleep, at this point, is no longer something to be ignored, but an important part of the journey to preserve your health. You deserve to wake up in the morning with a sense of freshness, clarity, and the complete feeling that I have truly rested. Take care of your sleep as you would care for a garden, regularly, gently, and patiently. Because when you sleep well, everything else gradually becomes more pleasant. Your health is better, your mind is brighter, and life suddenly becomes a little bit lighter. So greater social interaction extends your lifespan. When you get older, the scariest thing isn't illness, it's loneliness. Maybe you still eat well, still go for regular checkups, still take your medicine on time. But if your days pass in silence with no one to ask how you are, no one to talk to or sit down with for a meal, then you will start to wither, both physically and spiritually. A major Harvard University study that lasted over 80 years showed good relationships, not money or diet, are the deciding factor for happiness and longevity. People with strong social connections often live longer, have less cardiovascular disease, and maintain a clear mind until the end of their lives. It's not a coincidence that in the world's longest living communities, like Okinawa, Japan, or Sardinia, Italy, the elderly always have a network of close friends, meet weekly, cook together, and tell stories together. I remember Mrs. Lisa, 81 years old, who lived alone after her husband passed away. For 2 years, she barely left her house. Her daughter lived in another state and only called occasionally. Day by day, she spoke less, smiled less, and her health also declined. Then one day, a neighbor invited her to join a knitting group in the neighborhood. At first, she was very hesitant, but then she tried going to one session. That day, she spoke more than she had in 3 months combined. And from then on, she went every week. After just a few months, Mrs. Lisa started to smile more, sleep better, and even no longer had the persistent aches and pains as before. You see, social interaction isn't just about having someone to talk to. It's a way to nourish your soul and lift your spirit. When you connect, you are heard, you are understood, and you also have the opportunity to give love, even if it's just a simple greeting or a hug. These seemingly small things are the most precious nutrients to keep your heart and mind young. I know, sometimes you might hesitate to reach out or think, who would need me? But please don't believe that thought. Your presence has meaning. Maybe someone is waiting to hear you knock on their door, or you just need to start with a simple sentence. The weather is lovely today, isn't it? And that is enough to open a conversation, and sometimes a new friendship. If you can't go out often, try calling an old friend, joining an online group, or just talking with the familiar cashier at the nearby supermarket. Every time you open up, you are affirming that you are still living, still connecting, and are still needed. Old age shouldn't be a lonely journey. It should be a time for you to enjoy relationships that are real, deep, and precious. Give away a little smile, and you will find you receive a whole springtime in return. If you're still watching and getting something out of this, do me a favor and drop a 4 in the comments below. And hey, if you haven't subscribed yet, I'd love for you to join our community and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Your support truly helps us keep making more content just like this. Secret 5. Regular health checkups are non-negotiable. Did you know many older people only go to the doctor when something happens? Meaning when the pain is severe, when they are so tired they can't stand it, or when the body sends a very clear signal. But by then, it is often too late, because there are many diseases in older adults that progress silently, quietly, with no fever, no pain, no outward signs, until they are in an advanced stage. I once witnessed an old friend named Tom, 74 years old, healthy, ate and slept well, still went for a walk every morning as usual. One day he felt a little dizzy but ignored it. A week later, he fell in the bathroom. Taken to the hospital, the doctor discovered he had prolonged high blood pressure, but he had never measured it, never had a checkup. The price to pay was a life dependent on medication and assistive devices. He told me with tears in his eyes, if only I had gone for a checkup every year, just once, things would have been different. A regular health checkup is not to find disease, but it is to detect early the problems you didn't even know about, from cardiovascular, bone and joint, liver and kidney issues to vision, hearing, or memory. When detected early, many medical conditions can be easily controlled with lifestyle changes or simple medication. But if detected late, the consequences are sometimes irreversible. Many people are afraid to go for checkups for fear of the mild and the long wait, or simply fear of hearing bad news. But do you know what is more frightening? It's not knowing anything at all. Living in the dark, letting your body weaken day by day without any proactive action. A health check is like shining a light into a dark room. The light might startle you, but thanks to it, you know where you are standing and where you need to go next. If you haven't had a comprehensive checkup in the past year, please consider this a gentle reminder from me. Make an appointment this very week. A simple checkup, measuring blood pressure, a blood test, a heart ultrasound, an eye exam, only takes a few hours, but it can add several more healthy years to your life. And if you have children and grandchildren, don't wait for them to remind you. You must be the one to take the initiative. When you take care of your own health, you are also reducing the burden on your family. You are giving your children and grandchildren a priceless gift. A father, a mother, a grandfather, a grandmother who is healthy, clear-minded, and lives longer. Don't wait until something is wrong to see a doctor. Go when everything is still fine, to keep it that way. Old age can be very beautiful if you know how to protect it, starting with a very simple action, a regular health checkup. Secret 6, maintaining a positive spirit keeps your spirit young. Have you ever seen two people of the same age in the same circumstances, but one is always cheerful, full of energy, while the other is always tired, depressed, as if carrying an invisible burden on their shoulders? Many people think the difference lies in health, in living conditions. But I believe that the biggest difference lies in the spirit. Maintaining a positive spirit isn't about pretending to be happy, nor is it about denying difficulties. It's about choosing to face things more gently, more warmly, and more kindly toward yourself and toward life. When you nurture positive thoughts every day, even if just through an old song, a funny story, or a word of thanks, you are also healing your body in a natural way. I once met Mr. Miguel, 80 years old, at a small park in California. He had lost his wife, lived alone, had diabetes, and had to use a wheelchair. But he always smiled. Every morning he still went to the park, listening to music while greeting everyone who passed by. When I asked, "How do you maintain such a spirit?" he just said, "I choose to look at what is left, not at what is lost." And amazingly, he lived healthily, lucidly, and even managed to encourage people much younger than him. Science has also proven older adults with a positive attitude toward life tend to be less depressed, have stronger immune systems, and recover from illness faster. Optimism helps reduce stress, lowers blood pressure, and supports cardiovascular function. It's not a coincidence that people who live long are often people who know how to laugh and know how to forgive. Of course, old age is not without worries. Illness, loneliness, missing loved ones, or even the feeling of being forgotten. But you still have a precious freedom, the right to choose how you see life. You can start each day with a word of gratitude, a beautiful memory, or simply by making a cup of tea and sitting to watch the sunlight through the window with the mindset, "Today I am still alive," and that is a gift. If you feel bored or lost, don't keep it inside. Open up and share. Find someone to talk to, whether it's an old friend, a neighbor, or a community social worker. Every conversation is an opportunity to illuminate your inner self, to remind you that you are not alone. Age doesn't make us old. It's pessimism that makes our souls wither. Conversely, an optimistic heart will keep your eyes bright, your steps light, and every passing day will have a little gentle flavor of the joy of living. Secret 7, learning to adapt to change. There is one unavoidable thing when we enter old age. Everything changes. The body changes. The people around you also change. The way society operates, the way children and grandchildren behave, even technology, it all moves relentlessly. And if you try to cling to old things, you will feel lost, tired, and sometimes hurt. But you know, the ability to adapt isn't just for young people. It's a gift that anyone can cultivate, even after turning 80. Learning to adapt doesn't mean abandoning old values. It means learning to integrate without losing yourself. It is choosing to open your heart instead of closing it. I remember Mrs. Jeanette, 83 years old, who was very annoyed when her son gave her a smartphone. She protested strongly, saying, "I don't need that thing. I am living just fine with my landline phone." But then one time her granddaughter from another state made a video call. She saw her granddaughter's face appear clearly, her smile, her eyes. She cried, and from that day, she began to learn, little by little, how to use the phone, how to send messages, and even learn to send photos and smiley emojis. She told me, "Instead of growing distant from my children and grandchildren, now I'm closer, just because I dared to try something new." You see, change is not always comfortable, but avoiding it makes you even more tired. When you learn to be flexible with your body, with your circumstances, with the world, you are maintaining a youthful mindset. Because an old person isn't someone who is old in years, but someone who has stopped learning, stopped adapting, stopped welcoming the new. Maybe you used to do everything in a traditional way, but now you can try simpler ways. Shopping online, booking appointments by phone, exercising with a YouTube video instead of going to the park. You don't need to do everything like young people, but you can absolutely do it your way, slowly, carefully, and proactively. It may also be that loved ones are no longer with you. Some old friends have passed away. Family has moved far away. Neighbors have changed. But that doesn't mean you have to live forever in memories. Each passing day can still be a new chapter, if you allow yourself to keep writing it. Meet new people, find a new hobby, try a small volunteer job, or simply accept that not everything that is lost takes away the joy of living. Think about it. You have overcome so many storms in life, war, loss, crisis, illness, and you are still here standing strong. So learning something new, adapting to a small change, is not too much to handle. Inside you, there is still flexibility, still the ability to be in charge. You just need to believe in it. Change waits for no one. But if you learn to walk with it, you will not only live longer, but also live more deeply, live more fully, and live much more lightly. You have just walked with me through 7 secrets to living healthy, living long, and living a meaningful life in old age. From keeping the body always moving, to eating healthily, sleeping deeply, maintaining social relationships, getting regular health checkups, nurturing an optimistic spirit, and finally learning to adapt to the unavoidable changes. Each thing may sound simple, but it's the solid foundation for a peaceful, independent, and non-dependent life in old age. Perhaps you are thinking, "I've missed so many years. Is it too late to change now?" The answer is, it is never too late. Because every day you still wake up, still listen, still think, is a day you still have the chance to choose to live differently. You don't need to change everything at once. Just one thing, one small thing you can do right today is enough to create a big difference for tomorrow. And I hope that, after hearing everything I have just shared, you won't keep it to yourself. Because old age isn't just a personal journey, but also the most vivid life lesson for the next generation. If you have ever wished your parents had told you these things, then today you can be the one to do that for your children and grandchildren. Don't wait until you no longer have the strength to tell them. Say it now. Tell your children why you choose to walk every morning. Tell your grandchildren that grandma and grandpa are still learning how to live anew every day. Because sometimes one sentence from you can change an entire generation. My dear friend, thank you for spending time with me until the end. That shows you truly care about yourself and is also proof that you still have a desire to live well. If what I shared has touched you, please leave a comment. Share what resonated with you most or the small action you will start doing tomorrow. Your shares are not only motivation for me, but also a light for others who are finding their way on the journey of aging. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe and share it with your loved ones. Who knows, someone might need to hear these things from you. I will see you in the next video, and I hope that your tomorrow will begin with a smile and an act of kindness for yourself.